very tactical discussion, how to conduct a PT session. This is going to be a play-by-play. So when we're training someone, context is most certainly key. And as service providers, we understand that everything we deliver is through the lens of the individual that's in front of us. There is a difference between an apprentice and a master. An apprentice knows how to repeat processes that have been shown. A master understands the principles well enough to adapt the information to create success for any client. So while we're going to outline a play-by-play strategy on how to conduct a training session, we bear in mind that in the real world, we would have the liberty to adjust and alter as our training knowledge grows and our context of their training goals, the client's training goals, improve. So as we understand them better and understand them as individuals better. This is the general outline. Great, assess, and outline. I hate that I said that twice. Great, assess, and then we're going to outline the day. Let's go through them. Great. Warm hello. We won't know how the athlete's day was. We're going to use the term athlete and client here interchangeably. We don't know how the athlete's day was, but we want to firmly remind them this is their space outside of their own narrative of their own lives, and it exists solely for the betterment of that person's development and inviting positive space for them. Say hello warmly. Make them feel invited. It's their space, and it's a positive one. Step 2, we assess. So we ask how they are, and we're trying to assess what state that they're in, physically as well as mentally. What athletes say can mean different things. Tired as a descriptor for one person doesn't mean the same as another. We as coaches need to know if we need to make any training adjustments for that day, any training adjustments on the fly to accommodate for an athlete's readiness. Now, readiness is an athlete's physical and mental preparedness for training or competition. If an athlete does indicate a poor level of readiness, then our goal is to determine one of 4 things. 1, is it their baseline? 2, is it mental burden? 3, are they lethargic? Or 4, if it will impact performance. We're going to go through all of those. So, if it's 1, and if they describe a state of readiness that is not up to training, we need to know if that is just the normal, if that is their baseline, if that's how they normally are. The strategy to combat this is to ignore them, and not in a rude way, but to acknowledge it. Oh, that sucks, man, that you're tired. Oh, you feel wrecked today. That sucks. Big day at work. Or reassure. Okay, I hear you, but how about we get under the bar? We'll do our warm-ups, and then we'll see how we feel once we've done a few squats. I've had clients who perpetually will tell you that they're tired, and it becomes an every time you see them thing. That is simply who they are. They describe themselves as tired. I'm not going to talk about the merits or the virtues or the downsides of doing so, of self-identifying as a mood or an energy level. What I will do is just say that for some clients, it very much matters if they describe themselves as tired or beat up, and for others, it doesn't. And our job is to work out which strategy we need to take with the clients when they tell us that. I have some clients that are very tough, and if they tell you they've had a bad day, they have had a bad day, and you're gonna want to really listen to that. And other clients who they repeat it so often, it just becomes how they self-identify. Number 2, we need to figure out if it's mental burden. 2 options I usually use. 1, ask them if they want to discuss something further, or 2, let their training be their catharsis. If the athlete and you have good rapport, they'll say, yeah, it's been a bad day, like I'm feeling pretty crap. Your job is not necessarily to solve their problem. You're their physical coach, a personal trainer. But sometimes we will lend an ear to listen. Ask if they want to talk about anything. They want to get something off their chest, if they want to vent, whatever. Or give them the other option. Do you want to train? Do you want to let the training make you feel better? Giving that option to the client is much more empowering. So, mental burden. Ask them if they want to discuss. Ask them if the training is what's going to alleviate some of that stress. Ultimately, isn't that what the gym is for and why the gym can be so great? Number 3, are they lethargic? This is one that bugs me a lot of the time. A lot of people will come in and say that they are tired. Totally fine. had a big day at work. Maybe they're a tradie or something like that. They actually have done a physical amount of work. Or maybe it's early in the morning and people describe themselves as tired. It is more likely that they are actually lethargic. Tiredness to a significant level would show up as some sort of performance drop. They can't concentrate, maybe slurring their words, and as they lift, there's either a representation of poor mechanical skill or slow bar speed. Their force output isn't as much. But what we usually find is that tradie has just sat in the car, in a warm car, for an hour and a half. They get out of the car and they feel lethargic. They've been sitting still. The person that's up at 5 a.m., they've had 7 hours sleep. Not tired, they're lethargic. They haven't moved their body yet. So what we find is that those same people, 10 minutes into the training session, are bouncing off the walls. They're lifting weights, they're looking good, they leave the gym happier than they came in. Obviously, there's still signs of fatigue. If you've worked a hard day, using a jackhammer or something like that, yeah, certain things are fatigued. But the question is, does the gym leave you feeling better? And were you actually able to perform the training session? My solution for people feeling lethargic is, number one, just explain the difference. Explain the difference between tired and deep fatigue and lethargy. And warm up slower. Yeah, you're probably not going to want to chuck 140 on the bar as soon as you get into the gym if you're feeling lethargic. That's a recipe for disaster. Just warm up a little bit slower. Let your mind and your body start to upregulate, switch all the systems on, and get ready for some hard training. Number 4, you have to determine if their readiness level will impact performance. And the solution is to simply adjust training variables. I'm going to expand on all this stuff now. Until we have a solid level of experience with a client, it will be difficult to ascertain which of those 4 things it actually is. That's okay. My most common strategy is usually to do nothing. Training has a way via multiple means to enhance mood and provide reinvigoration. So a lot of the time, it's a self-solving problem. Again, that's why the gym and training is so cool. Something I convey to my clients is the idea of not being overly self-assessing before you have started to lift. Life and mood have a way of impacting our feelings, but that doesn't always determine the performance and therefore the effectiveness of any given session. These are some common things that I say. Wait until all warm-ups are complete and we are at our working set to assess how you may be feeling. Your quads don't care if you've had a bad day, and don't let your brain stand in the way of your lifts. This is not to take away from how the athlete is feeling. Make them feel heard. Reassurance through acknowledgement is the best way to move forward. If your stomach hurts, we will see how we go and pivot if we need to. But the ship will continue its course unless absolutely necessary to change directions. The truth is, one big value factor of coaching is accountability and assisting someone to do something they ought to do despite their mood not wanting to do that task. That's exactly our job. Our job is to promote, hey, look, we're going to do it anyway. We're going to get it done because that's going to take you the next step forward to the thing that you really want, which is X, whatever you've come into the gym for in the first place. A lot of these may sound strict. I can't really think of a good word for it. And it comes from the fact that I have Crohn's disease. A lot of my training sessions, vomiting during a training session is common. Feeling sick, feeling lightheaded, feeling dizzy, all of this stuff is very common. Cramping, I get a lot of cramping. And what I've found over the years is that those signs aren't actually as deterministic over the effective of the training session as I originally thought. I wish a lot of the sessions that maybe for the first 3 years of training, a lot of the sessions I would have packed it in early. I should have just trained some calves, done some lat pull down, waited 10, 20 minutes, and then continued to train as normal. I wonder how many more productive sessions and how many steps more further towards my goal I would have got. I think it's a lot. Some clients do want to take it easy in the gym. And if they take an inch, they will take a mile. So, again, until you know the person you're working with, you won't know out of those 4 exactly what they mean when they indicate a poor level or a good level of readiness. And as you get to know them, you can kind of identify their traits and their trends, and then come up with strategies to make sure that they're getting a good, hard, robust workout in. So, let the bar speed and movement quality show what condition the athlete actually is in, lighten their spirit, and provide them with good vibes. Everything else will usually follow. Basically, do nothing but observe them. It can make a big difference getting to know exactly what your clients mean when they say certain things. The last part is outlining, and it's essentially just outlining the day and how it will go. Let them know what's required of them, what are the key lifts or techniques that are important, what parts of the workout will be tough, if they need to switch into a high gear, if they need equipment or a setup, what needs to be prepped or warmed up, and then get them to review their program and discuss the main targets or what the workout is for the day, unless they don't care. Some clients come in and they just like to be told what to do. Totally fine. Other people are more involved with it. Obviously, our goal is to get people more involved with it, but not everyone comes there for that. Some people just like to come to off-burden the whole process onto someone else. Totally fine. Points if they do these things autonomously. If they already know the weight, if they set up their equipment, if they know when they have to switch on during a session, it shows that you've been a good coach and you've really educated on those things. I'm just going to reiterate all these points with a bit more context. So let them know what's required of them. Look, this is the workout. This is a leg day. It's going to be hard. We're going to be pushing it. What are the key lifts or techniques? We have squats. We have squats at 155 for 7 reps. That's a big set. Your best set has been 160 for 7. So we're right there near the top end. Okay. Technique stuff. It's going to be minimal today. I need you to keep pressure on the forefoot, but that's it. It's the same cue we went over last week. We're not bringing anything new because this is performance time. What parts will be tough? The damn squat. If they need to switch into a higher gear, when we work up that last warm-up set, I need you to take as seriously and switch on as the main set. I need you to be ready to go as soon as we take off and unrack that 155. If they'll need equipment, that rack over there is free. It's already set to your height. We'll just need the squat bar over there. What needs to be prepped? Look, the other week when you did a few leg extensions before your squats, it did look better. Let's keep doing that. Get them to review your program. Double check the warm-up weights for me that I've placed in your program. Hopefully they already have it up. That would be excellent. And then points if they're able to go and set up their squat and start warming up all by themselves. That's what that should look like if you're outlining the day. Those are a lot of steps. But the better you get at all of these steps, the better service you can deliver. All right, that's going to be part 1. I'm going to bring you part 2, and hopefully you have the link to that video when you watch this one.